Okay, here we are again. So now we have an application problem. So it says John's bank account was overdrawn, which means he wrote a check for too much or withdrew too much. And the status of his account was negative $131. Okay. So he did not realize the problem and wrote another check for $84. So that means he's taken another $84 out. So we're starting here and we have a value of negative $131. And then he wrote this check and he said, well, I'm going to write another check for 84. So he's going to subtract off 84 from that. And then guess what? The bank says, well, we're going to charge you this $19 fee for being overdrawn. So they're going to subtract off another $19 because of that. And now what we're supposed to do is get the status of his account after all the charges and extra withdrawals. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take 131 minus 84 minus 19, and we're going to see what we get. Well, when we have the two values here with the same number, what we can do is minus 131, and then we're going to subtract off 84 more. And another way to think about this is we're going to add, since these have the same symbol out in front, both of them are negative, we can just add the two together. Okay, so we can take 4 plus 1, 5, 8 plus 3 is going to be 11, carry the 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. But we know the sign is still negative, and so that really becomes negative 215. So when you're adding like signs, basically you just add the two numbers together and keep that like sign. Okay, so that's what we've just done here. Now we're taking off another $19. And so really we're just going to subtract off another 19. And when you have like signs again, we can just add these two together. So this time I'm going to add them here instead of like I did here, because you can drop the signs, get your number, and then add that sign back in. Or you can say, okay, well, they're like signs, so I know my final answer is negative, and just add my numbers as they are. So 9 and 5 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. And then we have 2. So now the value of his account is negative $234. Okay. So remember, when you add like signs, whether they're positive or negative, here, positive ones add up to 215. Here, like signs, negative and negative, they add also, and we get a negative 215. And then we say, okay, well, we're going to add on another negative 19. And so we basically add those two together, keep the sign the same, and we get negative 234. All right. The next one. Okay, so we have profits and losses for the first 6 months of the fiscal year for a small business are shown in the following bar chart. Okay, so this is our profits and losses. It's in thousands of dollars, and it's for January through June. What we're supposed to do is create a table showing the profit and loss for each month on the next page. So I've made a table so we can fill in a table easily. And we're going to use positive integers for the profit and negative integers for the loss. And then after that, we're going to create a line graph using the data in our table. All right, so we have January through June. So let's go ahead and write our months here. So we have January, February, March, April, May, and June. Now we need to find out our profit or loss for each of those months. Well, January, well, guess what? We're down here at a negative 4, and it's negative 4,000. But I kept the units kind of the same here. I put these are thousands of dollars, so it's a negative 4,000. February, well, that's a minus 2,000. So is March. So February and March are both minus 2. What about April? April is, well, it's a plus 2. So we can go plus 2 for April, or we can just write it as a 2. And May is 4, and then June is 8. So 4, then 8. Okay. Now we've got our data table. And so now what we need to do is we need to say, okay, well, now we have January, February, March, April, May, June. We're making a line plot. And so we see our lowest negative is 4. So if we call this a negative 4, maybe we go by 2s, that's negative 2, and then 0, then 2, then 4, then 6, then 8. we can plot these points, and this is in thousands of dollars, and this is the month. So January was negative 4,000, so that's right there. February, negative 2,000. March, negative 2,000. April, it's a positive 2,000, so it's up here. And we have May, which was 4,000, so it's up here as well. And then June, it said, was 8,000, so it's all the way over here. All right, let's put the June back in. And now we're supposed to make a line plot. So we basically connect the dots. So that would be our line graph for what this looks like. And if you think about it, you know, we went up here, across, up to here, over to here, and then up to here. And so if we had taken the middle piece of each of those bar graphs, that kind of would look like what it was, except, you know, we have to start at 0 and kind of go down, and then down, and then down. Now we're at 0 and we go up and up and up. Okay, so that's what it would be. So again, like I said, you know, if we took our center points, we drew that and over, then up, and then up again, and then up again. That's kind of where our bar chart can make a actual line graph directly, but the best way to do it is first make a table and then plot those points, okay? So that's making our line graph and our table from our bar chart. All right, so that's what I have, and I'll come back for a little bit more.